सभी को नमस्कार और बहुत बहुत स्वागत है शनिवार की सुबह को। हमें लगा कल तो शायद गलती से कुछ लोग आ गए, बट आज पता नहीं शनिवार को और रविवार को छुट्टी के दिन कोई आएगा कि नहीं आएगा, बट बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है। देयर इज so many people have joined, so all are welcome, and thank you so much for joining on the Saturday morning. So unlike yesterday, we have planned for 3 sessions today. And so in the morning, in the first half, we'll have one sessions somewhere around 11 to, I mean, from 11 onwards till 12:30. And yeah, afternoon also we'll have somewhere around from 2 o'clock till 3:30. And then onwards, taking a short break. And once again, we'll have the last sessions. So बहुत बहुत स्वागत है सभी का, and it's absolutely overwhelming to see many of the people have tried and created some trash out of paper, cutting it out with the scissors and folding the paper, and no, thought on about some interesting problem statements. So I could see the cutting the chess board was something which excites a lot of you, कि जहाँ पे जो है आपके पास 4x4 का जो चेस बोर्ड था, उसमें से काले वाले चेस बोर्ड जो है, काले वाले जो चौकोन है उनको बाहर लाना था. So I thought maybe we can level up that problem and try to share it out, some very interesting problem statement also. And I would like to also discuss, some of you have tried and share their thoughts on various things we have discussed yesterday. So firstly, I wanted to share this assignments which we were talking from yesterday. So now imagine, instead of, let me get the access to it so that yeah, don't worry. So कल जो हम चेस बोर्ड की बात कर रहे थे, looking at your interest, now here I'm like leveling up a problem a bit. कि जहाँ पे instead of a square grid, let's say you have a shape like this. एक बटरफ्लाई है और एक ये बत्तख है. इन दोनों आकारों को आपको कुछ इस तरह से फोल्ड करना है कि सिंगल कट ऑफ अ सीजर एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट शेप कैन कम आउट. और सो ये तितली है, उसको कुछ इस तरह से फोल्ड करना है आपको. यू हैव टू फोल्ड दिस बटरफ्लाई इन सच अ वे, सिंगल कट ऑफ अ सीजर एंड बटरफ्लाई शुड कम. सिमिलरली हियर यू हैव ये वाली कुछ बतख जैसा चित्र है. यू वांटेड टू cut this one in a such a way that the bird should come out of this paper. Uh, Not trivial one, but worth trying and attempting, and then maybe folding and doing this would probably help you to visualize what should be the generalized pattern of folding this paper, such a way that you can fold any paper, any particular shape made out of a straight lines, which can be cutted out. Interesting math. And if you wanted to sort of cut out your name or an alphabet out of such using such method. So here is what I'm showing an example. So let's say if you wanted to have the alphabet C being folded in a such a way कि इसको फोल्ड करके आप सीजर का एक सिंगल कट लगाइए और सी बाहर आ जाए, तो ये हमने आपको हिंट दे दिया है. सो यू कुड सी देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ लाइन, दो प्रकार की यहाँ पे लाइन है. आई कैन मार्क वो वाला मार्क कर देते हैं जो बड़ा वाला व्हाइट बोर्ड मार्क कर रहता है. सो दो प्रकार के यहाँ पे लाइन है. एक आप देखेंगे जो डैश और डॉट है, डैश और डॉट है, और दूसरा वाला आप देखेंगे कि डैश्ड है. सो द वन विद द डैश्ड जो है उसको आपको उस तरह से फोल्ड करना है कि वो ऊपर की तरह है, कुछ इस प्रकार से. और जो डॉट वाला है उसको आपको कुछ इस तरह से फोल्ड, जो डैश्ड वाला है वो आप इस तरह से करें कि उसका जो है वो माउंटेन बन जाए, मतलब वो पर्वत टाइप बन जाए, ऊपर उठ जाए. और जो डैश एंड डॉट वाला है उसको आपको कुछ इस तरह से फोल्ड करना है ताकि वो जो है वो अंदर चला जाए, समथिंग लाइक दिस। वो अंदर की तरह चलाए। सो देर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ एन लाइन, एंड देर इज अ टू टाइप ऑफ एन फोल्डिंग, एंड दैट्स व्हाट यू वांटेड टू फोल्ड इट इन अ सच अ वे कि सी, उसके बाद जो है वो सी बाहर निकल के आ जाए। और इस सारी प्रक्रिया में हम क्या करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, वी वांटेड टू लेट हैव ऑल द साइड्स बी ऑन टॉप ऑफ ईच अदर, मतलब जो अलग अलग लाइनें बनी हुई हैं उनको हम एक के ऊपर एक रखना चाह रहे हैं। इन अदर सेंस, वो जो दो लाइन है जहां पे भी मिल रही है वहां पे हम उसका एंगल बाइसेक्टर ड्रॉ कर रहे हैं। सो एंगल बाइसेक्टर वुड हेल्प यू टू फोल्ड एंड इन सच अ वे कि दोनों लाइन है वो एक के ऊपर एक आ जाए। और जब ये सारी लाइनें एक के ऊपर एक आ जाती हैं, देन यू कैन मेक अ सिंगल कट सच दैट द पॉलीगॉन कैन come out. And of course, C is a simpler one, and here you have the folding patterns for B. And similarly, I can show you for some other arguments also. तो ये जो है हम आपको इसकी एक वीडियो और ये कागज के जो टेम्पलेट है वो शेयर कर रहे हैं। मे बी यू वांटेड टू सॉर्ट ऑफ राइट आउट कि आपका नाम आता है कि नहीं। सो नाउ जस्ट इमेजिन, आप कक्षाओं के अंदर जा रहे हैं, स्कूल का नाम, अपनी संस्था का नाम, या फिर आपका खुद का नाम कागज से बाहर निकल के आ रहे हैं। लिटरली लिटरली द ज्योमेट्री and the mathematics can come out of paper. Maybe I can show you the video for the scene. How do I do it? Signal. Correct. I should try to show you this way. आवाज आ रहा है जूम पर? नहीं आ रहा? I was also wondering, did somebody, by the way, there were a couple of comments कि थोड़ा अंग्रेजी भाषा का इस्तेमाल करें ताकि हम जो है वो समझ पाए। So of course, I'll try to speak in both the languages as much as possible, especially the conceptual wala part. जी, anybody give a try on the punch card वाली activity जो हम कर रहे थे? Because I could see a lot of responses about the paper activity. Was wondering कि किसी ने जो है ना पंच कार्ड वाला ट्राई किया। maybe in the start we can have the cameras on, and then I also wanted to talk about जो अनुदीप सर है उन्होंने, I could see only one person has responded with the जो arrow flip वाला है। So maybe I can request अनुदीप जी कि वो जो है maybe he can explain. But I was wondering कि is there somebody who did a try, किसी ने पंच मतलब कार्ड्स पंच करके जो है उसके साथ खेलने का कोशिश किया हो? So सुप्रिया जी has it. So सुप्रिया जी, did you get a chance to sort of think about कि how the cards are getting sorted? Any thoughts on that?
It's just about that holes and things. अगर वो हम स्टार्ट के बजाय अगर यहाँ से करने के लिए कोशिश कर रही थी, जैसे वंस प्लेस टेंस प्लेस जैसे हम जाते हैं बच्चों के लिए जैसे सिखाते हैं, तो वंस प्लेस टेंस प्लेस के जैसे अगर जा रहे थे तो वो सॉर्ट हो रहे थे सही से। बट इफ आई ट्राई टू सॉर्ट फ्रॉम दिस साइड, तो वो नहीं हो पा रहे थे, वो कार्ड्स नहीं जम रहे थे। तो वो शायद वो होल्स के जो नंबर थे, जैसे हमारे जो बाइनरी कोड्स थे, उसके वजह से, उस पैटर्न की वजह से मे बी इट्स नॉट वर्किंग। तो उसके लिए कंपल्सरी वंस से ही स्टार्ट करना जरूरी रहा था। बट आई ट्राइड फॉर द डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर ऑल्सो, बट नॉट गेटिंग क्लियर आंसर फॉर दैट।
कोई बात नहीं, maybe some problems worth trying for multiple iterations and things. Yeah. Anybody else also gave a try? किसी ने जो है वो कार्ड्स के अंदर छेद किए और उसके साथ खेलने की कोशिश की हो? Any attempt on that? तो रीमा जी, आपने कोशिश की? हाँ, you wanted to share about sort of any hint on how the cards were getting sorted out of the trick?
So I have not punched the holes, but I had written all the binary codes. And after that, I noticed that all odd numbers have 2 raised to power 0.
That's true.
So in the first, when we pull out the first cards, all odd numbers come out.
That's true.
Second time, when we pull out from the second punch, all the numbers which have 2 raised to power 1. That means the numbers are 2, 3, 6, 7, 10, 11, 14. I have written all the numbers. And in the third one, like 2 raised to power 2, we got the numbers 4, 5, 6, 7. That means we were leaving, there is a pattern. We are leaving 3 numbers. First, we were leaving 1 number. Then we were leaving 2 numbers. Then for 2 raised to power 2, we are leaving 3 numbers. Then 2 raised to power 3, we are leaving 7 numbers because 2 raised to power 3 is 8. So we are leaving 7 numbers. So when we arrange all the numbers, all the cards are sorted. So I will share the whatever the
So that's
iterations.
a lovely observation. So by the way, जब आप सबसे पहला वाला छेद करते हैं, so that's the first position जो छेद का है. So उसमें जब आप करते हैं तो all the cards which is of an even number, कि जहाँ पे 2 to the power 0, which is 1 present. So all the even number would come along with the stick, and that's what you are taking in.
Odd will come. Odd will come out.
Oh, so the odd are the one which has 2 to the power 1.
Yes,
2 to
even
the
will
power
come out
0 is. Yeah.
because
जी.
आपने सर्कल्स वहां पे किए ना, where 2 raised to power 0 है.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी. So
सर्कल्स वहां पे किए जहाँ पे 1 है.
नहीं, so circles represent the zeros.
सर्कल्स 1 पे है एंड जो 0 है वो रेक्टेंगल है.
Yeah, I mean,
According to
consider it in whichever way. So in my cards, I have treated the circular hole as a 0. I mean, 0 for 0, and the U slit for the 1. So yeah, the vice versa. So
fine. So you will get the even numbers first, and I was getting the odd numbers first. I will think of like that also then.
Correct. So of course, a wonderful observations कि कौन से cards जो है वो आपके आ रहे हैं. So the first one, the visualization is very easier because if you have the circular hole as a 0, so all the 2, 4, 6, all the even numbers would come out, क्योंकि even numbers के अंदर 2 to the power 0 है वो present नहीं होगा, इसलिए वो सारे आगे आ जाते हैं. And so on you can start observing कि बाकी के छेद करते हैं तो कौन से cards. But still, this pattern doesn't explain why these cards are something. Ji, Ambika ji, you wanted to share something here?
Yes, sir. I have also done the same thing, which ma'am has told, that I have converted all the binary operations. Like I will show.
Ji.
Not able to. Just wait a minute. I'm not able to
Sure.
switch.
Then eventually, maybe I can
Yes,
request
as
to the.
I have converted all the binary operations and converted the numbers like this. Still, I was not able to do the wholes and all. And I have done that other A4 size sheet activity also.
I see.
That also I've done. But I was not able to create those holes and find out that.
Lovely, lovely. So very quickly, as some of you have tried, maybe thoda we can discuss. So of course, it would be nice to start having the observations. What I would like you now give you a bit of an hint कि किस तरह से शायद ये sort हो रहा होगा. So the best practice would be कि let's say for example इन ताश के पत्तों के साथ जब आप खेल रहे हैं, so instead of having in 26 alphabets, take a very small set, let's say a 6 cards or an 8 cards or so on. और उसके बाद उसको खेल के आप देख सकते हैं कि how the things are, let's say for example, getting sorted. So next what I wanted to take it up, let's say for example, I wanted to have a very less set of cards. And let me shuffle them. So let me write the shuffle cards order, whatever it is. So let's say I have the first card as C, which is 3, which means because it's a 6 set of cards, I'm only interested in the last 3 bits because rest all would be the zeros in the front. So I'll write this as a 0, 1, 1. All right. The next one is B. So I'll write hit, which is a 2. So I'll write this as a 0, 1, 0. The next one is E. So I'll write here as an 1, 0, 1. The next one is D, which will be 1, 0, 0. Then you have F, which is 1, 1, 0. Then you have A, which is 0, 0, 1. All right. So here I have an order of a card. Okay. Now, as all of us have somewhat got the idea कि मान लीजिए मुझे ये वाले सीक्वेंस है उसके ऊपर shuffle करना है, or let's say for example ये sort करना है, and when you are inserting the stick, all the even numbers are coming in the front. And can now anybody tell me what would be the sequence here? Can anybody from you can you share what would be the sequence here? G. Yeah, Ambika, you have raised hand. So Anuja, would you like to share me the kya hoga sequence looking at this set of cards? Just a second.
2, 4, 6.
Just a second.
It should be B, D, F, if we see the holes.
Sure. So now the possible sequence of card could be, yeah, please go ahead.
B, D, and F.
All right. So that would be, first would be the B. The next will be
D.
D.
D for doll. Yes.
D.
And F.
That's 1, 0, 0. Then it's an F, which is 1 1 0. How about the next one?
I think next one it should be C. No, sorry.
Next one should
It
be
should be E. E,
E. Why not C?
because I think there's a one, so it is a U slit. So it will pass on from the second one.
Either. And mind well, as of now, we have just done the first iteration. So this is for
Yes.
only the first step. We have inserted the stick. So you see,
Yes.
all the zeros would come out.
Yes.
They would maintain their own order, and then the followed by it with the one. So C is the first one in the one. So my guess would be it would be the C,
Okay.
which is the first among the one with the ones. The last is the ones, and then followed by the E for elephant, which is 1 0 1, and the last one should be A 0 0. So this is a set with all the zeros. They have maintained their own order in the shuffled cards. These are all the ones with the one. They have maintained their own set of cards. So apart from the even and odd numbers being separated, anything else do you think we can claim, or anybody from the audience who would like to share कि भाई इससे हम क्या फर्स्ट स्टेप से सिर्फ फर्स्ट स्टेप से क्या कंक्लूजन निकाल सकते हैं, क्या चीज सॉर्ट हुई है, इफ एट ऑल, कौन सी चीज ऑर्डर में आई है आफ्टर द फर्स्ट स्टेप? क्योंकि देखिए हम 3 या 5 ऑपरेशंस कर रहे हैं, तो ऐसा तो नहीं है कि अंत में कुछ जादू हो गया और आखिरी स्टेप में ही सिर्फ ऑर्डर. समथिंग मस्ट बी प्रोग्रेसिवली हैपनिंग so in the sorting action. So what after just the first step, if anything at all has sorted, what is that part which has sorted? That's the things we are looking at. And then we wanted to look at it कि अगर जब हम second step करेंगे तब क्या sort हुआ होगा. Meanwhile, in the parallel, let me also write the numbers of these so that we can have a better understanding. So this is 3. Let me use the black already. So this is 3, this is 2, this is 5, this is 4, this is 6, and this is 1. That this was the number for that. And now if I look at it, this sequence, the order is 2, 4, then it's 6, then it's 3, then it's 5, and then it's 1. Looking at this, anything you see or feel are sorted in after just doing the first operation? कुछ ऐसा हुआ हो आपको लग रहा हो कि यार ये आपस में कहीं पे कुछ थोड़ा सॉर्ट हुआ है? So the first operation, so if I look at the set of numbers 1 2 3 4 5 6, so if I've started with the 0, which is not here, but this will ensure, the first step will ensure the zeros and 1 are sorted, the 2 and 3 are into an order. इसका मतलब है कि पहला ऑपरेशन करेंगे, it would guarantee कि 2 जो है वो 3 से पहले आ जाए, because you see all the evens are before odd. Similarly, the next step, similarly 4 is guaranteed to be in front of 5. क्यों? क्योंकि वो odd number है तो even number है तो even number तो guaranteed है कि उससे पहले आ रहे हैं. And of course 6, because there was no 0 and we haven't taken the 7. ठीक है, तो आप देखेंगे कि इस वाले सीक्वेंस के अंदर 3 जो है वो 2 से पहले था, 5 है वो 4 से पहले था, and after an operation 2 is in front of 3 and 4 is in front of 5. Now you do the second step, second iteration. आ गई हमारी डंडी. If I do the second step, any Any guess on the what will be the sequence after doing the second step? So now we are looking at this column. इसकी बात कर रहे हैं. What will happen to this? What will be the sequence? यहाँ पे जो भी जीरो हैं वो आगे आ जाएंगे और उसके बाद ये वाले वंस आएंगे. So this won't be picked up. D would be picked up. So the first one will be D, which is 1, 0, 0. Similarly, F will be dropped, C will be dropped, E will be picked up. Which will be the next? How about the A? A will also be picked up, which is 0, 0, 1. Okay. So all the one with the zeros in this column will be picked up first, and they would of course maintain their own order here. How about the next card? So the one with the cards which has the ones in the middle row, they would be the next. So it would be the B with 0, 1, 0. Then of course B has already been picked up. The next one would be the F, which is 1, 1, 0. And in that sequence, the next card is C, which is 0, 1, 0. And if I write the numbers for these cards, इनके अगर मैं नंबर लिखूं, so these are D is 4, E is 5, A is 1, B is 2, F is 6, C is 3. So, and then if you look at it, the sequences, the second operation. Now, can anybody give me a hint? What will be the what has sorted here? कोई hint देना चाहेगा? Anybody wants to sort of share a hint here? So you see, 2 and 3 among themselves as a pair were sorted. 4 and 5 were sorted. There is no 0 and 7. So of course, in दोनों pair का हम अभी ignore मारते हैं. The second operation will ensure कि the pairs, the consecutive pairs are sorted among themselves, which means in दोनों pair, मतलब the zeros and ones are will be in front of 2 and 3. तो आप देखेंगे कि एक है वो 2 और 3 से आगे ही होगा. Similarly, this pair, because they themselves are sorted, the 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, of course 7 is not here, but तो 4 और 5 तो आपस में है. हाँ, ये जरूर हो सकता है कि 6 4 और 5 से आगे हो आफ्टर द फर्स्ट है. बट आपने जब दूसरे वाले छेद में किया, दिस वुड इंश्योर कि दीज टू पेयर आर sorted, which would guarantee कि 4 और 5 है वो 6 से आगे ही होगा. My cards are fall out. So एक बार मैं इनको once again repeat what we have done here, and then we'll see the last step. Here it is. So next, if I look at it, the last step, so इस वाले छेद के अंदर मैं लगाऊंगा. This will ensure, so this is the last one. Which is for this particular column, ये वाली column में आप लगा रहे हैं. So once again, all the zeros would be picked up first. So you would have A, which is 0, 0, 1. ये वाली column को आप देख रहे हैं. Then the next one will be B, which is 0, 1, 0. The next one is C, which is, sorry, this will be 0, 1, 1. Then the next one will be all the ones, which is D, which is 1 0 0. Then the next one is E, which is 1 0 1. The next one is F, which is 1 1 0. इस कॉलम में देखें तो ये सारे जीरोस ऊपर है और ये वाले वंस जो है वो सारे नीचे. And if you look at it, you see that the result is being sorted. And from this pair, the third step would ensure that these second step has ensured कि 0 1 2 3 ऑर्डर में है. ये जरूर हो सकता है कि 4 इनके कहीं पे बीच में हो, 5 इनके कहीं बीच में हो, बट 0 1 2 3 का रिलेटिव ऑर्डर है वो सेकंड स्टेप के बाद, यहाँ पे सेकंड स्टेप के बाद जो है वो वाला ऑर्डर में आ जाए. सिमिलरली 4 5 6 7 आर सॉर्टेड अमंग देमसेल्फ आफ्टर अ सेकंड स्टेप. द लास्ट थर्ड ऑपरेशन विल इंश्योर कि ये दोनों पैर हैं वो भी आपस में सॉर्टेड हो जाए. इसका मतलब है कि 0 1 2 3 would come in front of 4 5 and 6 7 and ensures that the complete list is sorted in a 3 operation. तो इसका अगर हम सीक्वेंस देखें तो ऑफ कोर्स नाउ यू कैन सी दैट इट्स a 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. They are into an order. So I mean just imagine such a simple set of n cards, very easy to make, but mind well they are not so trivial to understand. Of course you can look at it, the patterns, and try to say कि ये हो रहा है वो हो रहा है, but how they are sort of getting that sorted is a non trivial part to appreciate. Not to say कि ये चीजें समझने से clear हो जाएगा. Maybe you want to play it around for some more time and try to understand. Then the next thing what I would request you, why don't you try after understanding how they are getting sorted, why don't you give it a try and do something ताकि जो है वो कार्ड्स हैं वो रिवर्स ऑर्डर में आ जाए. एंड उसके लिए पंचिंग चेंज नहीं करनी है, पंचिंग तो यही रहेगी, but with the operation what changes can be made such that they can be into the reverse orders. Once you have done that, the next step, as of now we are doing the sorting operations, the next step if you wanted to give it a try could be कि इसमें से मान लीजिए सुप्रिया जी है, उनका नाम का फर्स्ट अल्फाबेट एस मुझे सबसे पहले लाना है. हाउ कैन आई डू सो? आउट ऑफ अ शफल कार्ड, इफ आई वांटेड टू हैव एस एज अ फर्स्ट कार्ड, और लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल मेरा नाम जय है तो जे को सबसे पहले लाना है, तो क्या कर सकते हैं इन चीजों के अराउंड खेल सकते हैं. वेरी क्विकली आई वांटेड टू हैव अनुदीप जी. अनुदीप जी वुड लाइक टू शेयर जो आपने कार्ड फ्लिप वाला मुझे बड़ा मजेदार लगा था. सो वुड यू लाइक टू शेयर योर थॉट्स ऑन हाउ द कार्ड्स वर गेटिंग, आई मीन द जो एरो है वो कैसे फ्लिप हो जा रहा था. या इज गुड. या क्या करें? अच्छा. Yeah. Manodip ji, you wanted to share how the जो एरो फ्लिप का आपने करके भेजा, so you would like to share it? Meanwhile, let me leave up space a bit. So the trick we are looking at it is कि भाई वो जो एक चौकोर डाट लिया उसके ऊपर एरो कर लिया, तो यहाँ से पकड़ा तो जो है वो सीधा सीधा रहा, उसका बस डायगोनल हमने चेंज किया, so that was getting flip. Yeah. नहीं? Okay. So yeah. Anandip, you want to unmute yourself and then share whatever you were sharing. What's it? Okay. So then not let me give it a try. See what we are eventually looking at it is, let me once again take you to the right and so and to have an explanation, maybe I wanted to take a transparent piece बिकॉज उसके बाद एरो करने के बाद फ्लिप करके क्या हो रहा है, दैट्स व्हाट वी वांटेड टू लुक एट इट. ठीक है. सो नाउ जस्ट इमेजिन कि meanwhile on the parallel let me also take an A4 sort of a sheet of paper. ठीक है. So let's say for example if I mark an arrow here. ठीक है. मैंने जो है वो इस तरह से ऊपर एरो मार्क किया है and you have this rectangle, the square covering that. And let's say for example if you rotate it around this axis, इसको जो है वो मैं ये पकड़ के जो है वो रोटेट करूंगा फॉर एन 180 डिग्री. सो एनी गेस वेयर विल दिस एरो बीइंग पॉइंटिंग इट आउट टू? ये एरो है वो कहाँ पे पॉइंट करेगा? एंड एनीबॉडी वांट्स टू सॉर्ट ऑफ कमेंट ऑन, वो ऊपर ही रहेगा, वो नीचे जाएगा, राइट जाएगा या लेफ्ट जाएगा? ये एरो है उसको मैं इस एक्सिस के अराउंड 180 डिग्री फ्लिप कर रहा हूँ, रोटेट कर रहा हूँ, तो ये कहाँ पे जाएगा? So somebody is saying down, okay. Anybody else? Anyone have some other thoughts? So most people feeling it's will go to the Rabinder ji को लग रहा है कि लेफ्ट जाएगा. I see. So भारती जी हैं opposite. What is opposite? Is it down? Okay. Diagonally down. What is a diagonally down? So you said कि 45 degree ऐसे जाएगा. Interesting. Any other thoughts? So I could see down. I could say diagonally down. There is this नरिंदर जी जो है उनको लगता है कि नहीं लेफ्ट के साइड जाएगा. So let's see. Very interesting answers. So let me यहां से जो है वो मैं उसको diagonally flip करता हूँ. So now this is my rotation जो है वो इस एक्सिस के अराउंड हो रहा है. And then if I flip you see that the 180 degree flip around this axis has made the arrow pointing it out towards right. इस एक्सिस के अराउंड अगर मैं इसको रोटेट करता हूं तो मुझे उसकी जो इमेज मिलती है, इट्स पॉइंटिंग इट आउट towards that direction. Let me call this as a right. Maybe I'm not sure about कि zoom की वजह से वो आपका right left का हुआ, but it won't be pointing it out towards down. Down तभी point करता जब उसकी रोटेशन की एक्सिस यहां पे होती तब, not when it's diagonal. And of course 180 degree flip is also about कि इसकी mirror image मुझे करनी है. So this मान लो किसी भी इमेज है. So let's say for example इसको थोड़ा नीचे कर देता हूँ. So let's say for example an image, हमारी कुछ इस तरह से इमेज थी. And then if the rotation axis है, तो इसके अराउंड इसको आपको मिरर मान लेना है. और हर पॉइंट के लिए ये वाले जो हर एक पॉइंट है उसके लिए आपको फाइंड करना है कि ये यहां से इस दूरी पे है, तो यहां से परपेंडिकुलर ड्रॉ करना है और उसका मिरर इमेज आपको यहां पे मिलेगा. सो दिस पॉइंट would be transferred somewhere around here. This point would be transferred somewhere around here. This point would be transferred somewhere around here. ठीक है. This point would be transferred somewhere around here, and that's how this image is formed. ऐसा कुछ इसका इमेज बना, इसका मिरर इमेज. सो इफ आई पुट इट अप अ मिरर ऑन, यहां पे अगर इसको मिरर रख दूं तो जो इमेज बनेगी वो जो है वो कुछ इस प्रकार से होगी, which is also saying that 180 degree flip would be something like this. Now can anybody tell me कि इस वाले राइट साइड वाले जो एरो है इसको अगर मैं 180 डिग्री फ्लिप मारूं या इन अदर सेंस यहां पे अगर मैं मिरर रख दूं, ठीक है, तो एरो जो है वो कहां पे पॉइंट आउट करेगा? सो विच इज सेम एज कि इसको जो है मैं रोटेट कर दूं, सो देन यू वुड गेट योर एरो back to the original positions which was in the upside direction. ठीक है. तो आप कुछ इस तरह से इसको सोच सकते हैं. And now can somebody tell me, okay, let's say for example, if I have this on the upward direction, and if I rotate it around this diagonal, where will it gonna point to? अगर यहां पे करूंगा तो कौन सी साइड पे फ्लिप होगा? So in that case, so it will be towards the, यहाँ पे करेंगे, so it would be towards the 180 degree turn करेंगे, so it should point towards the left hand side. So if I move this, I rotate this around this axis, so यहाँ से मैं करूँगा, so then it should be left. ठीक है, and then once again one more flip, and the upwards. So we wanted to be very particular about how the things are happening, and I keep it open for you. So yeah, Mrinal, you wanted to say or ask something? Yeah, please go. If you wanted to share or ask, please go.
या एक्चुअली आई वाज आल्सो डूइंग दैट. सो जब मैंने इसको ए बी सी डी में राइट किया एंगल्स को, व्हेन आई फ्लिप, so at this point the arrow is pointing towards A and B, and when I flip this again it is pointing towards A and B, and that is why it is upside. And if I change the angles diagonally, that is B and D, if I flip it, then it is B and it is A and B over there, and that's why it is changing the direction.
Love.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So then looking at this rotation of axis, क्योंकि देखिए हम कई बार चीजों को वो थोड़ा एब्स्ट्रैक्ट या टेक्निकल जार्गन में बोल के जो है वो हम आगे बढ़ जाते हैं. But I would say the fun with all of this toys and tricks and the stuff would be to get it into the detail of an object level. ये भी क्या हो रहा है, किस तरह से हो रहा है, and getting into the exact understanding and actions and do so. So that's where the most fun lies. Instead of just saying कि rotation axis है, these that है, फलाना ढिमकाना है, symmetry है. Yeah. Oh yeah. So Akshit ji has some very interesting suggestion for that. Yeah. Maybe you wanted to give a try, and then why don't you show it with the form of video कि किस तरह से करना है. और आपके अक्षित और अग्रवाल दोनों ही नाम में A है, but try to get, let's say, by name the alphabet J as in first into an order. That's the response to your comment. Yeah. So then I'll leave it open for you कि वाली जो flip वाली टेक्निक है उसमें मान लीजिए स्क्वायर कर रहे हैं और कोई और पॉलीगॉन ले ले तो किस किस प्रकार से जो है वो चेंज हो सकते हैं एरो की डायरेक्शंस वगैरह. That's what you wanted to give a try and could be a good trick to sort of start with and play around with. चलिए जी. So ओके, हमारा रिवीजन और चर्चा में ही काफी सारा समय हो गया. एंड मेनी ऑफ यू हैव शेयर्ड जो फोल्डिंग वाला है उसमें काफी लोगों का मुझे मैसेजेस आए कि बड़ा मजेदार लगा वो फोल्डिंग वाला. सो आई वुड से कि जो ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट किया था, मे बी यू वांटेड टू मेक इट कस्टमाइज समथिंग लाइक दिस. तो मैं आपको फटाफट से एक कल वाली जो चीजें कर रहे थे उसमें से दिखा देता. देन आई वांटेड टू स्टार्ट विद व्हाट वी हैव प्लान फॉर टुडे. सो here you have an booklet which is about कि यहाँ से आप कागज निकाल के you wanted to fold them in a such a way to one side you see this one image, on the another side you see this particular image. Maybe I can show you the one which is a folded one. पहला वाला मैं दिखा सकता हूँ. This was the paper, so you have wanted to fold them in a such a way कि आपको दो अलग अलग तस्वीरें जो है वो फोल्ड करने के बाद दिखाई दे. And this is of course the simplest one, so I want to show you that as an example. Maybe if you wanted to fold it like this and maybe like this, then you would see one image on one side and another image on the side. And maybe if you wanted to have create your own images and puzzles out of it, तो वो कैसे करते हैं फटाफट से मैं आपको वो दिखा देता हूँ. That's what one of our colleague has worked upon that. So आप सेंटर फॉर क्रिएटिव लर्निंग की वेबसाइट पे जाएंगे, CCLIITGN सर्च करके. So on the website you will see in the resources there are this puzzle resources. वहां पे जाने के बाद you would see this manifold puzzle. There are a lot of other puzzles which you can generate. Some of them we would be sharing you today. कहाँ paper folding puzzles. तो one is of course you can download these templates here जो PDF इमरोज ने आपको share की. And if you wanted to sort of let it create your own templates for the same कि जहाँ पे आपने तो अपनी images है upload की और खुद अपने puzzle बना सकते हैं. क्या हो गया हमारा website? Sometimes in the IIT Gandhinagar Wi-Fi shows the fire. तो यहाँ पे जाके आप अपनी खुद के आपके जो इमेजेस है उसके लिए वाले पजल है आप क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. ऑल राइट. Okay. Any comments? Any sort of doubts or things you wanted anybody has to share? तो बिल्कुल हाथ खड़ा करके कर सकते हैं, chat में type कर सकते हैं. Before I start what I wanted to talk and share you today. And of course, Professor Manish Jain is traveling. So many of you have commented कि will sir be interacting with us. So hopefully today evening or tomorrow evening we'll have the सेशन आल्सो बीइंग शेयर्ड. हाँ जी, किसी के कुछ कमेंट, कुछ टिप्पणी, कुछ मन के भाव, कुछ सवाल, कुछ चीजें हो, प्लीज कैन यू प्लीज टेल बाइनरी कोड फॉर 65. Okay, I am not sure whether it's a test for me or what's the intention for it. So you can consider the 65 as 64 plus 1. So 64 is 2 to the power 6 and 1 is 2 to the power 01. तो आप 65 को कुछ इस तरह से लिख सकते हैं. Just a second. Let me take it over. How to cut? अंबिका जी का सवाल है कि how to cut chess वाला. So if you are there part of an WhatsApp group, Imrose can tell you, can share it on the community जो है उसके ऊपर वो WhatsApp group का link डाल सकते हैं. If you be part of that, many other people have shared कि chess को कैसे करना है अंबिका जी. Let me take you to the overhead. So somebody was saying, how do you sort of convert 65, which is in decimal, to an binary? So 65 can be written as 64 plus 1. So that's 2 to the power 6 plus 2 to the power 0. So if I have these positions, so this is for 2 to the power 0, this is for 2 to the power 1, this is for 2 to the power 2, this is for 2 to the power 3, this is for 2 to the power 4, this is for 2 to the power 5, this is for 2 to the power. So here it would be 1, here it will be 1, rest all will be the zeros. So in the binary, you can write this as a 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. This is in binary. And there are standard methods to convert. How do you do so? तो वो दो से उसको भाग देते जाए, उसके आधार में भी कर सकते हैं. That of course you can. जी. Any other सवाल, comment, कुछ टिप्पणी before we start? Okay, ठीक है. So next, what I wanted to share, I wanted to start from one of the historical events, and for that, let me take you to my slides. So which is about, yeah. So I wanted to take you to 18th century, 1700 में. तो उस time पे there is this show which has got really popular जहां पे उस टाइम के चेस के बड़े बड़े प्लेयर्स को एक रोबोट के सामने खिलाया जाता था. दिस इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट पॉपुलर थिंग्स हैज हैपेंड. इट इज कॉल्ड एज अ चेस प्लेइंग टर्क. And starting from Napoleon Bonaparte to Benjamin Franklin, उनको जो है वो इस टर्क के सामने तुर्की के जो है वो ये रोबोट टाइप है उनके सामने चेस खेलने के लिए इनवाइट किया गया और उन्होंने जो है इन दोनों को हरा दिया. सो इन टिल ऑलमोस्ट 100+ years इट हैज बीन अमंग द फैक्टर ऑफ मेस्मराइजेशन फॉर लॉट ऑफ पीपल कि जो है वो एक पुतला एक मशीन इंसानों के सामने चेस खेल रहा है और वो उनको हरा दे रहा है. Of course, this was an very amazing imaginations and manifestation, but there was a little bit catch, a little bit cheat. वो जो है वो इस टेबल के नीचे एक इंसान बैठा रहता था. दिस टाइम चेस मास्टर जो है वो उसके नीचे बैठते थे and they used to do the moves on the bottom of this big table. और जो ऊपर वाला है वो that's basically an automaton. So brain is still was by human, but जो एक मशीन थी उस मूव को ऑपरेट करती थी. 200 years आफ्टर दैट इट एक्चुअली जो इमेजिनेशन किया था कि एआई इंसान के सामने खेलेगी एंड देन इवेंचुअली सो the artificial intelligence has beat that time चेस के जो ग्रैंड स्लैम विनर थे गैरी कस्पोव उनको हरा दिया था. एंड इट वाज अ बिग हेडलाइन कि आईबीएम की डीप ब्लू मशीन है उन्होंने चेस के उस टाइम के सबसे बड़े प्लेयर था उसको हरा दिया था. 20 years after, so 200 years before, there is this machine which used to play against chess against humans. And 200 years after, असल में एआई ने जो है वो चेस में इंसान को हराया. 20 years after that, so called the very difficult or very complex and that requires a lot of intuitive thinking, go करके बोर्ड गेम है उसमें जो उस टाइम के विश्व के सबसे बढ़िया प्लेयर थे कोरियन प्लेयर थे 7-10 उनकी रेटिंग थी. तो सीरियल उनको जो है वो एआई ने करा दिया. दिस इज इन 2016 एंड दिस इज एन अल्फा गो ग्रुप. और उसी ग्रुप में जो है वो अभी अभी 3-4 साल पहले प्रोटीन फोल्डिंग का जो उसकी जो ज्योमेट्री थी वो मशीन लर्निंग से सॉल्व किया. दे गॉट द नोबेल प्राइज for the same thing. So some of the most fascinating sort of just a second. So, and there's a very beautiful documentary on this the last one about how this group has evolved. The AlphaGo Britain based group था और उन्होंने किस तरह से ये चीजों को जो है वो डेवलप किया उनकी सोच क्या थी और जर्नी क्या थी उसको लेके ये डॉक्यूमेंट्री था. एंड गोइंग फॉरवर्ड of course if I look at it 10 years after what we have done, I think we all have now this has become a general purpose technology and has done some amazing breakthroughs in various fields, starting from coming up with a new antibiotic. So creating the antibiotic is among known as a very costly and time consuming effort. तो उसके आपको हर मोलिक्यूल के जो केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज होती हैं वो ट्राई करनी होती हैं around the bacterial reactions and a lot of different combinations and variables. Very very complex computational problems. So all the computational problems are being tackled by machine learning methods and artificial intelligence like anything. So what the scientists and chemists have done कि उन्होंने जो सारे वो moleculars जिनकी प्रोफाइल पता है कि एंटीबायोटिक प्रॉपर्टीज है वो सारे मशीन लर्निंग मॉडल्स को फिट किए हैं एंड दे हैव आस्क्ड बिलियंस ऑफ अदर molecular structures और उनको पूछा गया कि can you come up with some predictions कि कौन सा होगा और कौन सा नहीं रहेगा and that's where that's how the shortlisting of such molecules has been thrown down to a very smaller subset and then of course उसको लेके experimentation मतलब उसको लेके experimentations वगैरह किया था laboratory testing वगैरह that's how the Alice in medicine this is 2-3 years back by the MIT group. Similarly जो medium range weather prediction है 5 days 6 days 10 days वगैरह that has absolutely outperformed the older styles method for weather predictions, which is to so the previous methods are based on solving the dynamic equations and physical equations, whereas this machine learning methods or AI methods are coming with a very very different approach for some of these variables. I mean some of these predictions. And again, these are all also very computing problems. You want to look at it huge data set from the past, and then you want the machine to come up with learning the patterns and features. And considering the number of variables are huge, it's called as a bit difficult problems to solve. Similarly, so as talking to other species, which includes the whale songs, the birds chirping and dolphin songs and so on. So identifying a lot of patterns. Not to say कि भाई वो उनके साथ conversations कर रहे हैं, but the first step would be to figuring it out the patterns, different patterns on what sort of an emotions they are trying to communicate, whether it's a fear or a dangers or mating call or whatever the categorizations. That's what the machine is, or the AI methods are helping on figuring it out and letting us communicate with or trying to understand the communication of the species. So as looking at some of the oldest problems, so there is this very interesting EDOS problem, which is about कि let's say if I give you a set of dots, मान लीजिए मैंने आपको 9 dots दे दीजिए, तो आपको उनको कुछ इस तरह से रखना है so that you can find the maximum pairs which are 1 unit distance from each other. Just to give you a brief about this particular problem, let me take you to over here. क्या problem था? Very interesting problem, which is about so the problem is, so let's say if you have the 9 dots, maybe you want to put it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you would get 8 pairs which are exactly 1 unit distance from each other. Isn't it? ठीक है. Now we are looking at कि इसको किस तरह से रखें इन 9 dots को ताकि जो exactly 1 unit distance पे हो वैसी pairs maximum हो. The another possible arrangements could be something like this. So here you might be able to see that there could be a 12 pairs. We use the marker first. So let's say for example, this is a 1 unit distance from here, and similarly this is 1 unit distance from here. This is not a 1 unit distance. This is an √2 distance. ठीक है? तो ऐसे कितनी pairs बनेगी? That would be, you can enumerate them. That would be a 12 pairs possible in this particular arrangement. So the question in somewhere around 1920s or 1940s or so has been coined by the EDOS, the very famous math problem. And question is कि given an n set of n numbers, उनका arrangements क्या होना चाहिए ताकि आप maximum कर पाए. So there are of course an intuitions and a few of the method suggestions, but there wasn't a formal proof why what is would be an optimum arrangements. And that's what a chat GPT has correct. This is a recent news, a couple of weeks back. OpenAI founder has done the publication, और बकायदा मैथ की कॉन्फ्रेंस है, उसके अंदर वो प्रॉब्लम जो है पब्लिश होगा, where AI has come up with the formal proof for certain. So starting from, so of course, looking at some of the most complex problems like protein folding, coming up with antibiotics, weather predictions, some problems which feels like a science fiction कि हम जो है वो अलग अलग species से बातें समझ रहे हैं और उनके साथ conversations कर रहे हैं, to some of the foundational math problems has been solved by the, yeah, I'm looking at the chat. Correction is not better. Okay. Um, and this is about the present. If I look at the future, things are changing such a fast at a drastic acceleration. It's a very exciting. At the same time, it's very concerning, confusing. There is a fear, there is an anxiety, there is an optimism about maybe you wanted to attempt or try solving some of the problems, which seems computationally very hard problem. So in such a scenario, it also from the educational community, it also arises some of the questions कि भाई तो आज की तारीख में सिखाए क्या है, सीखे क्या, क्योंकि लगता है कि सभी चीज तो एआई कर दे रहा है, बढ़िया ही कर दे रहा है। तो उन उन चीजों के बीच में जो है वो for rest of the whatever time before the lunch we wanted to have the understanding of or at least have some thoughts around that, and before predicting about the future और क्या होगा और उसकी concern और किस प्रकार की job होगी आगे के 10 साल, and believe me, if somebody tells you कि आज से 20 साल बाद जो है वो किस प्रकार की जॉब्स आएगी, वो इस प्रकार की जॉब आएगी, yeah, they are fooling because nobody at the moment know how the jobs and other things would look like down the line. Because you look at it, all the other general purpose technology, steam engine आया, internet आया, many of them were to sort of empower you with a lot of mechanical power and mechanical capability, or let's say for example communication capability. But this is very different general purpose technology. This enables you to have an intellectual capability that empowers with an intellectual capability. It's a very powerful. But at the same time, people who have developed this or coming up with the products and solutions, they themselves doesn't know what is inside the things which is happening around and why it is doing and making the decisions way it is doing, because that's the design of it, and we'll try to have a look into that in the future. And at the same time, all the other technologies, when the inventions had happened and research has happened, before the time it has got into the general purpose use, there is a decades of time duration which has happened. They'll talk about the internet. When DARPA has come up with, the people started having using it. It still was a decades. So was for the transport when the steam engine has come. But you look at it, this technology, the couple of years back, a very stable models of various AI tools has came up, and very drastically it has been being sort of ubiquitously being used. So in that sense, the scenario and the things are quite different, and it's with very high acceleration, and that's why it has created a lot of concerns around that point. So फिर से उस प्रश्न के ऊपर आ जाता है. So the next half an hour or 45 minutes is not about discussing the concerns related to AI, whether to use it or not to use it or how to use it. We feel to have at least the better perspective, why don't we try to understand this technology? And not only understand, we wanted to have this conversations and understanding with maybe the 10-year-old children and in our schools. तो इस टेक्नोलॉजी को हम किस तरह से खुद समझें और कैसे समझाएं, या उसके एक क्लासरूम के अंदर क्या परिकल्पना हो सकती है इस चीज को समझने के लिए. That's what we wanted to share with you. And for that, let me take you once again to my slides. So, of course, we are absolutely not sure about how the future would look like. But in order to sort of have the insight into this particular technology, we would like you to not only sort of demonstrate you ये किस तरह से काम करता है, पर हाँ, आप खुद अपना एक मशीन लर्निंग का मॉडल बनाएंगे माचिस की डिब्बी से. The second thing we wanted to look at it how human brain works and how a machine is trying to sort of replicate that part. वो हम अपनी कक्षाओं के अंदर किस तरह से अलग-अलग गतिविधि के साथ करें वो करेंगे. Similarly, we would like to understand the computational thinking aspects of it, which is about कि मान लो कंप्यूटर से हमको काम करवाना है या करवाना है तो किस तरह से कर सकते हैं in a very unplugged approach. So all of this we are not using any digital tool, any digital technology to understand this modern technology. सारी चीज अपनी हाथों से बना के खेल के चीजों को निकाल के छू कर जो है वो चलकर दौड़कर कूदते हुए इस टेक्नोलॉजी को जो है वो समझने की कोशिश कर रहा है बिकॉज that's when we feel at least till the middle school we don't want to have any ICT, any computer, any digital tools to have the demonstration or the understanding of that part. And similarly, how can I have my school premises being decorated and installed and exhibits और दीवारों को किस तरह से अलग-अलग तरीके से हम इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं for specifically for the computational thinking and AI. That's what we wanted to discuss you the next part of. So for that, I would require one of the volunteer from your side. And what we wanted to do, the very first thing is, so we would like to have माचिस की डब्बियों से बना हुआ जो है वो मशीन लर्निंग के मॉडल्स के साथ हम खेलेंगे. हमारी जो शुरुआत हुई थी, जो कहानी की शुरुआत हुई थी या एक मशीन किस तरह से सोचता है या सोचने वाली मशीन की शुरुआत चेस से या फिर बोर्ड गेम से हुई थी, तो हम भी जो है वो इस टेक्नोलॉजी की समझने की शुरुआत बोर्ड गेम से करना चाहेंगे. आपको जो है वो चेस खिलाएंगे माचिस की डिब्बी के सामने. सो that's what the first activity is about. For that, I would require a volunteer from your end. Anybody would like to play a match against Matchbox? आप में से कोई माचिस की डिब्बी के सामने चेस खेलना चाहेगा? Any volunteers? Rohan, you would like to play against the Matchbox? All right. So let me pull out the Matchbox. Let me pull out the chess here and the overhead, and let me switch to. All right. So let me put. So it's Rohan versus the Matchbox, and let me take you to my overhead here. Just a second. You may unmute yourself, Rohan.
Yes, sir.
I can hear you. तो 200 साल पहले जो है नेपोलियन बोनापार्ट के सामने जो है वो रोबोट ने खेला था और बड़ा फेमस हुए थे. 20 साल पहले जो है वो गैरी कास्पारोव वो जो है वो AI के सामने किया गया था. तो आज जो है वो रोहन के साथ जो है हम चेस खेल रहे हैं and hopefully will be in the newspaper as well. हाँ जी रोहन. So I'll tell you the rule. Unlike a regular chessboard, it's a very simple chessboard. यहाँ पे जो है वो सिर्फ प्यादे हैं. It has only the pawns. And in order to have the lesser complexity, we have just a 3x3 chessboard. ठीक है? So as in the chess, the pawn can go straight, or it can sort of eliminate its opponent by moving in the cross. Yours is white pawns, and the matchbox would have the black one. The objective of the game is to be in the row, the last row of the opponent. मतलब आप ये वाली रो के अंदर आ जाएंगे तो आप जीत जाएंगे. अगर let's say for example matchbox है वो यहाँ पे पहुंच गई तो वो जीत जाएंगे. The another winning possible conditions could be कि भाई मान लीजिए if you don't have a move to play, then also the matchbox or your opponent will gonna win. Or let's say for example if you have captured all the pawns, then also you can. ठीक है? तो आपका उद्देश्य है रोहन, आपको सामने की साइड आ जाना है and similarly the matchbox would also do the same. Okay? You wanted to start, Rohan?
Okay. I want the middle pawn front. Middle pawn front.
Lovely. Okay? In order to let the matchbox play, I'll have the compartment here, and which has two matchbox inside it. Each would show me कि whether it's a corner move, मतलब आपने कोई भी corner वाला आगे लिया है या बीच वाला आगे लिया है. So I can see that this matchbox matches with the current state of the board, and it has two arrows. There is one orange arrow which tells me कि इसको आगे ले जाइए, or it's asking me the blue arrow which would be the capturing the
Wow.
middle. Okay? So I'll shake the matchbox, and whichever bead you see, that's the move I'll take. So it has a blue bead, and I will have that. ये बस वही वाला बढ़िया था, क्या बोलते हैं आपके वो वाले जो फोम वाला, क्योंकि इसको ऊपर रखूंगा 25. So which is basically capturing the Rohan's pawn, and I'll put this here. All right, Rohan, your move.
I want the right side pawn to move front.
The right side to move front. All right.
Yeah.
Something like this.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the next one, I'll have the next compartment to be opened. ये दूसरा वाला compartment जो है वो ऊपर आ खुल जाएगा. And then of course I wanted which will indicating all the possibilities of a board. And can anybody tell me which one, Rohan, can you tell me which one matches with this current configuration of the board? So you have two whites and three black.
Yeah, the second row, fifth one, I think.
Second row, fifth one. Okay. This one, the last one. Okay. So which is about two whites and three black like this. And once again, now I have lot many possibilities of what move I can take. I can capture your this white, or I can go in front here, or I can capture your white, or I can go into the orange. I'll shake the bid and let any random bid to be picked up from here, which is let's say the green one. All right. Which is telling ki capture your white one, and the matchbox has reached to the last row, and the matchbox has won. Of course, this is a trial one, so we'll have the final match after this farm up. But the rules and the play is clear to you, Rohan?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Ready for the final round?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let me just have a reset. I'll put the matchboxes back to its position. This was from the first chamber. This was from the last chamber. Right. Here we go. Back to the position. Pawns all on the opposite side. Okay. Please go ahead, Ron. Your move.
Okay, for me, from my side, the right side pawn front.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have the matchbox being the choice. As we could say, this is the same as the last one. So we'll have this matchbox being chosen, and then randomly I'll choose among this matchbox, whichever choice coming from the front. So it says pick up the orange. So that orange moves stands for this orange move stands for capturing the white one. Right. So I'll put it up here. And here you go. Your move, Rohan.
I would capture your pawn.
Okay. Now it's time for the matchbox move. And can you help me out figuring it out? What will be the possible position for this? So there are two white and two black.
Yeah, I think the first one.
The first one, isn't it? Yeah. So the matchbox have the matchbox have only the one possibility. It cannot move it front like this. It has to only move like this, which is a green. Right?
Yeah.
Now also Rohan cannot move, which is also a winning condition for the matchbox. One more final round.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So let me once again pull this out. For the last round, maybe I wanted to change the set of this board. This one. ठीक है
Okay.
ये वाला? Is this okay? Imroz, you ठीक है ना?
Yeah.
As usual, yours is a white, mine are the matchbox has a black. Which one you wanted to go ahead?
For me, the left side pawn front.
Okay, this one.
Yeah.
You have, as usual, you have two choices of a board. The matchbox has a, I mean, there are two possibilities. Either we have moved the middle one or the corner one. This, I mean, it doesn't matter whether you have moved the right one or a left one because it's a symmetrical table only. So it matches with this. So I'll shake this, and whichever beat come in the corner, I'll pick that up. So it says you wanted to, let's say, have the blue. The blue is in the corner. So I'll have that as a choice. Which is going in the front. All right. Your move, Rohan.
I would capture your pawn.
Okay. Something like this.
Yeah.
All right. Here comes the next board. Can you help me out? Find it out the correct matchbox. So it has two black in the corner and three whites.
It's not actually there, I think.
So something like this, because eventually it's a symmetric.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So it should work for both the positions. And here also let's choose out. Okay, and let's see which one is in the corner. It says orange in the corner, so I'll pick that up. Okay, good. Just a second. Okay, which means orange is capturing your move.
I would like the left pawn to go front.
Hola. And here you go. Rohan has reached to the other end, and of course, he has win. So I would like you to have these exercises. So you see here what we have. Thank you so much, Rohan, for participating. Do you enjoy chess or do you enjoy playing board games?
Like I enjoy chess actually.
Oh, lovely. And would you like to brief about yourself? Where are you situated and
My name is Sai Rohan. I am from Hyderabad. I am actually 8th grade studying in Silver Oaks International School.
oh, lovely. And what is something which you enjoy?
Like I enjoy playing board games, especially chess, and I play sports as well, like badminton and football.
Lovely. Thanks. And how did you get to know about this online interaction?
I don't know, like my father registered about it.
Okay, I see. Thanks for being part of it. Yeah. So देखिए हमने यहाँ पे जो करने की कोशिश की. So what we have actually here is when we played with the Rohan, so the matchboxes you have seen was actually a trained model. And how we have trained it, just like Rohan has played the game with that. So coming back to this particular board configurations, because this has lost, what I'll do is I will put this matchboxes back into the board, but because it has lost, because it has make a bad choice while playing the game, I'll remove its last choice from this game. So let's say, for example, instead of capturing this one, maybe it could have let's say, so it has a 3 choices and it took the orange one. So let's say, for example, yeah. So the last choice, we're gonna remove it, and this is how I wanted to train a model. So I had a 2 sort of version for this. The one which we have played with the Rohan in the funds, the one with the black box. That's a train model, and how we have trained it. If the matchbox has won against you, I would like to have the choices of bid as it is and put it up inside the compartment and the box. If the matchbox has lost, so I would like to remove the last choice, only the last choice. So it has made a series of choices. So it has picked it up in orange from here and blue from here. So I would have the only the last choice being removed from the bid, and that's a punishment for that. And if, let's say, for example, it has won, then as a part of a reward, we would like to preserve whatever choices we have made. So unlike in the regular problem solving techniques where we come up with the strategies and how to win and what to do and instruct the computer if you want the computer to play against you, this is a very different approach, and this is what the core fundamental of an AI. You want machine to think, and how would you like machine to think is to let it learn from the experience. You don't tell him the strategy, you don't tell him what to do, but you would like to give him an experience and tell him what is in bad and what is good, have it has a punishment and reward, and let machine come up with its own strategy and thinking. And we have come up with series of 4 and 5 different sort of games where you can put it up the matchbox. So consider each matchbox represent the state of the game, and you wanted to train the matchboxes against you. So there is this training phase, and it feels like here you have a chessboards and maybe a complex, and there are so many possibilities and so on. And it would take a really good amount of time to let it learn. But mind well, with a very smaller subset, in fact, I'll show you this slide. So this is what the it's a very simpler board game with 3x3 chess size, and there are only pawns. सिर्फ प्यादे हैं यहाँ पे. And how do you win? So either you reach to the opposite end when if you can move, or if all your opponents are being captured. This is how the matchbox can win against you, or you can win against your opponent. And this is how the training has happened. And this is what the core fundamentals of how artificial intelligence and machine learning technology works. You would like it to experience, you would like to play a lot many time with that, and absolutely amazing explorations. The reason why we have chose this is about can you come up with some different training rules? So why you are only removing the last one? Why not remove the entire series of choices? Why there are only how many 22 matchboxes in this? I mean, there's a typo here. So there are 24. Let me in fact correct this here. It has 24 matchboxes only. So out of all the possibilities of a game, you has sort of pruned down to, और जो आपने जो अपना set कर दिया है matchbox का, वो सिर्फ 24 ही state possible है. So अब मान लीजिए 3x3 की जगह 4x4 कर दो, and if I do the same game, how many matchboxes would I require? The another thing is that I requested Rohan to move first, and the reason for that is the second player has a winning bias, जिसका मतलब है कि जो second player है उसकी जीतने की संभावना 100% है अगर वो ठीक से खेलेगा तो. And we wanted to sort of let experience or experiment कि माचिस की डब्बियां हैं वो कितनी गेम खेलने के बाद विनिंग स्ट्रेटेजी पे कन्वर्ट हो जाती है, हारेगी ही नहीं. सो नो मैटर whom do you bring against this matchboxes, eventually after out of only with 20 or 25 set of games it would be an unbeatable. Now just imagine, थोड़ी मुश्किल सी गेम है, उसका मतलब चेस का हमने सिंपलर वर्जन खेल दिया है, बट दिस इज नॉट ट्रिवियल गेम. विद इन दिस 20 to 25 गेम ऑन एन एवरेज इट वुड बी एन अनबीटेबल. And this is where the power of AI and machine learning methods comes, कि हमें लगता है कि यार बहुत बार सिखाना पड़ेगा, बहुत बार चीजें करने पड़ेगा, but with this sort of an not so trivial board game it would adapt within 20 to 25 operations only. And of course how to decide a training iteration, मतलब गेम देख के how do you come up with, let's say for example, कितनी बार खेलना पड़ेगा, क्या करना पड़ेगा, कितनी ट्रेनिंग करवानी पड़ेगी. These are leads to all जब किसी को अपना मशीन लर्निंग का मॉडल या एआई का मॉडल बनाना पड़ता है तो इन्हीं चीजों के अराउंड थोड़ा सोचना पड़ता है, करना पड़ता है. And that's where the lot of interesting things would happen. So next what I would like you to do is कि वी हैव क्रिएटेड टू ऑनलाइन वर्जन्स. आई विश कि आप जो है हमारे साथ यहाँ पे आके खेलते और इस प्रकार की हम चीजें बनाए, बट मे बी यू वांट टू टेक अ स्मॉल पॉज एंड आई वुड लाइक टू इनवाइट यू टू सॉर्ट ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस दिस. हमें लगता है कि यार बहुत बार ट्रेनिंग करनी पड़ेगी, ये करनी पड़ेगी, बट हियर यू हैव टू वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग सॉर्ट ऑफ एन ऑनलाइन वर्जन्स वी हैव डन. एक जो है वो जो लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे ये वाला जो है that's to play a chess, and the right वाला है वो चेकर बोर्ड का है. Do I have an image for the checkerboard? Let me check. बस एक बस चेकर बोर्ड का इमेज डाल दो स्लाइड पे. I'll try to explain them what this game is about. Okay. So maybe I'll drink a water for a moment, and in order to let you appreciate this, because इसके बाद में जो मैं आपको चीजें चर्चा करना चाह रहा हूँ वो उसके ऊपर है कि यहाँ पे तो हमने उसका फंडामेंटल देखा कि एआई किस तरह से अलग है ट्रेडिशनल से. ट्रेडिशनल में हम इंस्ट्रक्शन देते हैं कंप्यूटर को, हम उसको बताते हैं, वी टेल द कंप्यूटर व्हाट टू डू एंड हाउ टू डू, एंड वी सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम्स एंड कम अप विद द इंस्ट्रक्शन व्हिच इज बेसिकली अ प्रोग्राम. वेयर इज हियर we would like the computer or the machine to come up with the winning strategy of its own by letting it experience and associated training with that. So that's the difference between the traditional versus this particular approach. And I would like you to appreciate by playing this set of a game. So maybe we'll take a 5 minutes pause, use this particular, scan this code, and there is an online version. My colleague Pranav and Pingaksh has worked on it, and they would of course will eventually come and wanted to share some other things which have there. और इसकी जो है इमरोज ने आपके साथ ये जो है वो टेम्पलेट्स भी शेयर किए हैं. इस प्रकार के खेल आप खुद करना चाहें और आपके स्कूल्स के अंदर आपके विद्यार्थीगण के साथ या जिनके भी साथ करना चाहें, अपने परिवार के साथ करना चाहें, बिल्कुल ही कर सकते हैं. So I'll take a 5 minute pause, and we would like you to play around with this tool. And if somebody has a comment or a question, please go ahead. We'll try to conclude the session by maybe 1 o'clock or by 1:15 or so. The catch when you're falling. I just need to know your mind when I'm calling. Girl, let me provide your needs. Freaky girl under the sheet. दोनों के Walls don't move on dragging. ठीक है देख लेते हैं अनुजा जी. You are not audible. It's because of I was not speaking. Okay. Why should we remove the last piece alone, Akshay? Okay. Okay. That's a very interesting thing. That's because of Akshay. See, eventually, when you lose in this particular game के context में हम देखें तो the other choices are not so bad. It's the present state which is probably the not so smart choice. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आपके let's say for example जो आपने सबसे पहले जो initial choice ली which is about the right मतलब corner वाले को हटाना है या बीच वाले को लेना है. So maybe that choice was fine. It's okay and you might be finding the way for a winning strategy from your initial choices. तो आपका जो present move है that's in this particular game के context में that wasn't a very smart choice and not the entire sequence of it. That's why removing the last one. But that's not something determined rule. Somebody can come up with its own way of training it and that's where the different algorithms and that's why the context कि कहाँ पे apply कर रहे हैं किस तरह ले आ रहा है वो बहुत ज़्यादा जरूरी है. ठीक है. So people are saying we are not able, you are not audible, is it? Okay. That might be the older comment. ठीक है. Somebody was saying we are not able to online tool है उसमें चला नहीं पा रहे. So maybe let me give you a demo for the same. So this is for the checkers board. It would tell you what this game about and sort of how to play और जो है वो आपकी winning conditions क्या है वो चीजों को बता रहा है. ठीक है. So let's just have a play. All right. So the white जो है वो हमारे हैं जो black है वो matchbox के हैं. So always the whites are our I think it's white as written as you and the black is by the computer or a matchbox. ठीक है. तो मुझे सबसे पहले always first वो will be by me and जो चेकर होता है उसके अंदर क्या होता है कि आप है वो क्रॉस में चल सकते हो unlike the chess pawns. जो ये चेकर वाला जो गेम है उसके अंदर आपको हमेशा क्रॉस पे चलना है और या फिर आप किसी अपोनेंट के चेकर के ऊपर से कूद सकते हो and that's how you capture the other components, I mean your opponent's checker. ठीक है. So let me have the very first move. Maybe I want to go it here and unlike in the previous chess we have seen उसमें भी मुझे सामने पहुंचना. ठीक है. अब कंप्यूटर जो है उन्होंने अपना ये वाला क्रॉस किया. How come? It has first match whatever the game configuration it has and then out of the two choices it has randomly choose a bid which was orange being choose here. ठीक. वो यहाँ पे right side पे आपको दिखा रहा है. Now it's my turn. I can move either this one here or I can move this one here. ठीक है. So if I move it here, I might be in danger because black वाला है वो कूद के मेरे ऊपर से कूद के मुझे कैप्चर करके यहाँ पे पहुंच गया, which I don't want. So maybe I wanted to give this as a try. Right? ठीक है. Now looking at the game configurations, you could see that the previous one matches with this particular matchbox. और matchbox ने randomly choose किया and blue वाला आया, and that it has crossed over me, and this is how it has captured. ठीक है. ये वाला गेम का configuration है. Of course, I would like to capture this black one in the checker, और मैं कूद के इसके ऊपर चला जाऊँ. Right? Now you see the looking at the game configuration, it has chose this box because this is what it matches with the previous state. All right. Now it's my turn, and as you can see, I can move it to either of the crossbar, and I can win because this would be, but now the black one also has the move. तो वहां पे पहुंच गया, तो दोनों एक साथ opponent end पे पहुंच गए. So now this is a draw. So in the checker, you can have draw, unlike in a chessboard. And these were the choices. So because it's a draw, all the sort of, yeah. So and associated, there is a training ki draw hota hai kya kare, win hota hai kya kare, and you can play around for this. यहाँ पे आपने सिर्फ एक ही गेम खेला है, and you can look at the learning curve, learning किस तरह से रहा है. तो अभी draw हुआ है. So this is how the progress it is. But you can play for a lot many times, and you can see how the learning curves are happening. And if you want to reset it, reset यहाँ पे हो सकता है. Similarly, if I look at it, the checkerboard का जो version है, sorry, chess का जो version है, वो भी करके देख लेते हैं. So, internet, IIT का जो Wi-Fi है, but this is the larger context which I thought I wanted to show you all this. Or what I would like to anybody to appreciate out of this is कि जो पूरी ये modern technology जिसने एकदम कदर मचाई हुई है, it has just become so viral, this general purpose technology. The fundamental concept which is used in this technology is what you have. Not sure about how good platform this is for chess, but this is to appreciate the working of how this technology works. So आप देखिए कि ये जो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस ने जो एकदम हर जगह पे कहर मचाया हुआ है, हर चीज ये कर देती है. The foundation, the heart of this technology is around this. इतना ही प्रिंसिपल है जो अभी हमने चेस खेल के एक्सपीरियंस किया है. क्या पहले हम कंप्यूटर को इंस्ट्रक्शन बताते थे, कंप्यूटर वो करता था, कंप्यूटर वाज वेरी गुड एट व्हाट वी आस्क इज टू डू द फॉलो, बट देन वी थॉट व्हाई डोंट वी लेट कंप्यूटर to come up with its own solution for the problem. Can we have let computer think for the solution of the problem? Can we have machine think? And this is largely the working principles for all the AI tools you see. Can we have let it learn out of an experience? Starting from 1990s and 2000 onwards, all the efforts for the development of an AI was developed around playing, let the AI play the games against, let the AI model play the board games against the human and learn out of that experience. And this is how we all are also starting to understand this technology. तो जो जिस टेक्नोलॉजी की खोज जिस तरह से हुई, उसी रूट पे जाके हम भी कहीं ना कहीं इस टेक्नोलॉजी को समझने की मदद कर सकते हैं. देन once the foundational are clear, we can of course look at it more and more applications of an AI and how other tools are working around that. Why I wanted to also share you this is because, let me once again go to the slides. So in the 1st of April, CBSE has launched along with the ministry कि starting from grade 3 onwards, we would like to have a computational thinking in school. And from the grade 6 onwards, we would like to have foundation of AI being taught in our schools. So it's not only about the users or using it, it's also there in our classroom. So there's a lot of buzz and confusions and excitement and sort of रिसर्च एंड रीडिंग अबाउट कि भाई किस तरह से इसको हम अपने जो रिलेटिवली यंग लर्नर्स हैं उसके साथ चर्चा कर पाए, उसको इंट्रोड्यूस कर पाए. वन कुड बी द डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन ऑफ इन टेक्नोलॉजी, बट आई वुड से कि द मोर appropriate approach would be, can we look at it on the foundation, on the basis of how this technology has been built and how it is different from the other. And for that we felt कि the very unplugged approach, जहाँ पे आपको कंप्यूटर का इस्तेमाल नहीं करना है, the demonstration we see in the digital tool is just a supportive thing, but we would like to actually have in our classrooms all these matchboxes playing around it, and similarly such different activities we have done. That's what we wanted to give you the glimpse today. And the base for that understanding why we would like to have a very unplugged approach is this segment. Let me just show you. So, and we are drafting this book where all the activity we are writing 30 chapters for different grades starting from 3 to 8, where you have the very hands-on activity, very experiential way to learn the computational thinking, the foundation of computational thinking, and similarly for understanding the AI and machine learning. So we are soon sort of wanting to publish these books, which will be freely available for anybody to get an access. And of course, here we don't wanted to have definitions and explaining the technologies and explaining different algorithms. That's not the idea. The entire book is about where the activity is in center, Matchbox is a center, and through that, playing the chess or playing the games with the matchboxes, you wanted to understand the AI and, let's say, for example, decision making tree and neural network, and through the sorting and searching and algorithms and all the different foundations we wanted to understand out of an activity. So very soon we are publish the draft. I'll see if I can publish what current draft we have over the WhatsApp group. But very soon, within a month or so, we'll be able to publish the entire book, which will be freely available to download from the website of IIT Gandhinagar. The other thing which I wanted to share with you is about this report by OECD, which is an international organization which also conduct the assessment called PISA assessment. This the very famous article and report is about students, computers and learning, making the connection, which quotes that कि जितना हमारी कक्षाओं के अंदर, जितना हमारे क्लासरूम्स के अंदर आईसीटी ज्यादा है, जितने कंप्यूटर्स और डिजिटल tools are sort of being thrown around and being used in extensive technology, उतना ही learning curve नीचे है. The more technology use, the lesser the engagement and affecting the learning outcomes of it. So of course, it can be a supportive for the teachers, but the good technology should not replace teachers. Good technology can be as a complement for the teachers. This is what the PISA assessment, this is the OECD report being quoting. The more you have the digital tools, the lesser the engagement and the learning outcomes. So that's why we strongly have our understanding is कि when will this session end? So Siddhanshu, there is no attendance for these sessions. Of course, you might wanted to sign off whenever you want to, but within 15 to 20 minutes, we wanted to sort of conclude these sessions. Because we want to share other EI methods which can be for them. So coming back to what I was sharing you earlier, तो हमारा जो सोच या विचार है कि किस तरह से हम हाथों से करके इस टेक्नोलॉजी को समझें. All the modern technology we wanted to understand without using the technology in a very unplugged approach, and on the basis of that we are doing this program with CBSE named 3030 Academy. We are doing this from last 5 years, and this 15th August also we wanted to do that. And the very first episodes talks very extensively different activities and models, and then one we have tried to have a look into there. So similarly, such 50 to 20 different things to understand this viral general purpose technology named AI. Next, all right. So next, what I wanted to share with you is about कि हमने बात किया कि ये AI टेक्नोलॉजी का आधार क्या है, how it is different from the previous ones. Now I would like you to, I would invite my colleague Pingaksh. He would like to share, and there are other colleagues which we are working upon. How can I have a different physical activities to understand this fundamentals? So he would like to share for a very younger audience, how can I actually try to understand how do you implement the training? देखिए हमने ये सोचा कि हम इसको मशीन को एक्सपीरियंस करवाते हैं उसको अनुभव दिलवाते हैं और खुद से सोचवाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं बट हाउ डू यू एक्चुअली ट्रेन इट in the technology for the implementation level it's about how our brain thinks हमारा दिमाग के जो अंदर के न्यूरल्स हैं वो किस तरह से काम करते हैं और उसी को ही मशीन के अंदर मिमिक करने की मशीन के अंदर उसी तरह से कुछ उसको सिखाने की कोशिश की है एंड हाउ कैन आई हैव द चिल्ड्रन do the activity the play activity and try to appreciate how this neural network based training is happening. So maybe I would like to invite my colleague Pingash and he would be happy to share the work we are doing together in the lab.
Hello everyone. Am I audible, guys? I hope you guys are enjoying the session. So brief introduction about myself. I am Pengaksh, a student at IIT Madras. Okay, so I'm doing this internship, summer internship here, and we have been working on many different projects, many different activities, puzzles, and one of those are this children neural network. Okay, so what we want to explain this neural network concept to children. This is a machine learning model which is very helpful in today's world. Okay, just 1 second. I think this is yeah. Okay, so we want to explain neural network children to small standard students. And so for that, we have this game. So first, let's start with the game and then we will try to understand it. Okay, so this is the video. Okay, so see what is happening here. We have six people and there's this three-layer input layer and output layer. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll set this picture. Input layer, that's why each is in the input. Try to upload this picture with them. They all look at the picture. Now they will decide one word. There was a cat, there was a basket. Decide one. इसका वीडियो का भी आवाज है तेल से ये बस So I think it's fine now. Okay, the video's audio is coming, so let's start the video. The play क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? So here they all the input layer decided one word from the picture they saw. Like one decided cat, basket, and then sleeping. Now what they will do, they put this text in the basket. And these baskets are for the hidden layer. Now let's look at the hidden layer. Here. There are two people in the hidden layer, right? Now they will pick up from the basket. They got the text from the input layer. They pick the text from the basket. Now what they will do, they will try to form two words, decide two words, which they will give to the output layer. They have got the three words from each input layer, and then they will decide two words, which they will give to the output layer. Like here, one decided cat sleeping, one decided cat basket. Now they will give this to the output layer, the last person there. Now the output layer now have to give the proper description of the image. So what we're doing there, we have an image and we need a sentence for that image, the description of the image in text form. So the output layer will decide the description on the basis of the input it got. So here, we had this image and our neural network, our these peoples decided this text description for the picture. Okay, so now let's move to the slides. Let's move to the slides to understand this furthermore. Okay, so what we had three layers. We had the input layers, we had the output hidden layers, and then we have the output layers. So what the input layer did, we had this cat picture. We had this cat pictures. Now there are many features here. There's one cat, then there's this blanket, the color of cat is orange, then there's orange strips, then this basket. So they have to pick one feature. Each input layer, each input layer have to pick one feature that they will give to the hidden layer. Now, here is the how hidden layer works. So each, like let's say here, all three input layer decided, one decided cat, one decided to give sleeping, one decided to give basket, and they will give this word like each input, each hidden layer, there are two hidden layer, will get all three words. One from each input neuron. One from each input neuron, they will get three words. Now they have to decide two words out of it. So they have decided two words. They got cat, sleeping, and basket. So they have decided, one has decided cat sleeping, one has decided cat basket. And then they will pass this to the output layer. Then the output layer will make the final prediction, final test description that it made a cat sleeping in the basket. Okay, so that is somehow, that is like more or less what the image was showing, right? That is more or less what the image was showing. So now moving forward, this was the network. This is the network topology. In neural network form, what we had? We had these three input layer, then two hidden layer, and one output layer. Each hidden layer had these two lines which describe that each hidden layer get three input from all the input neurons. This one dot is known as neurons in neural network. This one dot is neuron. So there are three neurons in the input layer, two neurons in the hidden layer, and one neuron in the output layer. Each hidden neuron got three input from each neuron, and then it passed from two word. It decided two words and passed it to the output layer. Now, before moving ahead and describing how we got this idea behind neural network and how it is connected to the human brain, what I want a few volunteers who can describe this image for me, who can give the test description for this image. So, anybody wants to describe this image for me? Uh, Excuse me, sir. Jai sir. Like if I want to unmute someone and ask a question, so anybody want to describe this image for me? How to किसने hand raise करा था? So anybody? I need Rohan. Give a cancel. Sir. Okay, so Anuja, if I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, is saying a cat sleeping under a blanket inside a basket, and then Rohan is saying,
A cat sleeping on a basket with a blanket on it.
okay, a cat sleeping on a basket with a blanket on it. Okay, so we have these two different descriptions. Okay, so now let's move to the PPT again. So here you see we had two descriptions. So now how we can relate this to a human brain? So see, we had two models, let's say. We have one of Rohan and we have one of Anuja. And then they both have eyes. This eyes is the input layer. Okay, they saw the image. They got, okay, there's a cat, there's this blanket, there's this basket. And then they decided something in their brain, which is the hidden layer. They decided, okay, I want to phrase this in this way. Like Anuja said, a cat sleeping or something. Anuja said a cat sleeping under a blanket inside a basket, then yellow and orange cat sleeping a basket with a blue blanket. All of these have the same input. Okay, but their eyes picked up different thing. Like here, yellow and orange cat. Somebody picked only cat. Okay, so this is the input. Our eyes decide what we want to look at. Then then our brain, which is the hidden layer, process the data, what inputs it got, and then our mouth, which is the output layer, give us the text. Okay, so this is how it is related to human brain. In neural network, we basically wanted to replicate the human brain into a network which we can use in machine learning. So this is how it is related. In brain, we have neurons, which is similarly connected with each other. Okay, like here, and our brain process the data, the input data which we get from our eyes or our ears, and then it forms some output which it pass forward with our mouse or something. So here, if you're taking the analogy of a human body, brain was the hidden layer which decided what to say, how to form the sentence given the inputs, and our mouth was the output layer and I was the input layer. Okay, so this was the neural network for us. So this is the activity we are trying to do with children to help them understand neural networks. Okay, and for the last slide, what I have this tools which we designed. You all have seen the okay, it's taking some time to load. Just wait. Okay, there's one hand raised. Yes, Vishal, yes, Jan, Mr. Jan, can you ask if you have some question to ask? Or I think it was a mistake. I don't know why it is taking some time. I think this is not working actually. The link, there's some problem with the link. So we will end with the neural network again. Okay, I wanted to show you a tool which you can use for generate puzzles. You just saw the Kudam Kuti puzzles and the color puzzles. Okay, but unfortunately the link is not working. So I will be ending my session here. This was the neural network. If anybody want to ask any question, I will be open for it. There's hand raised. Mr. Zayan, they want some question. Anybody? The comment section too. Post is not allowing me. Wait, we'll check. After. Okay, yes.
I'm audible.
Yeah, you're audible, sir.
Actually, whatever you described,
Yeah.
my one question is that perspective of the difference is for the all one.
Sorry. Yeah, can you repeat?
If all the members of the first layer write the same word, then
Yeah, that's the where we need to retrain our model. Okay. That's when the model is not trained perfectly. If all the one writes, like when we are trying this game, what is happening? Everyone is thinking, okay, I don't want to write the most common word like cat. So what they did, they write everything about a instead of cat. So that's a bad model. Like after that we got the result. No, we had this image and we had the test description. Then we will see, okay, this description is too different from the text. Then what we will go, we will backtrack. We will backtrack to the network and who did the mistake. So we'll first see the output layer. We will see what input it got and what description it made. If the inputs were correct, okay, and it make the mistake, we will correct them. Okay, what we will do, we'll change the children. Okay, no, you get out. I need another layer. Okay. Similarly, let's say if the description, if the output was given by the output neuron was correct and the inputs were wrong, so we move back to the hidden layer. Okay, in the hidden layer, we will see, okay, what these each neuron. Okay, so we'll move to the hidden layer and we'll see, okay, all these hidden neurons, what they give. Like in our example, they give cat sleeping and a cat basket. And let's say someone was just messing around and they give dog sleeping. So then we will like, okay, why you write this? We'll try to correct him. Okay, don't. So this is how we retrain. In machine learning, what happened actually is there's this weight concept. Because in machine learning, everything is math only. Okay, so we try to assign this weight. We need to correct the weight. So this is how it works. We backtrack through the network and see where it gone wrong, and then we correct those mistakes. So like if you're saying if all the inputs give the same input or something like that, then we will move toward the input, and then maybe we will change the children. Okay, you guys have a same mindset. You are giving the same input. So let's change them. Let's choose a different set of children. So this is what we will do. And in machine learning terms, we will change the function of this kind of things. Okay. I hope this will answer your question. Anyone else? Thank you. Anyone else want to ask something? So I think we are done. The demonstration of neural network with us, it was simple and most easiest information you can do. Thank you. And we are really, when we are impressed with our work, okay, true, we can practice that in class. Yeah, we should. That will be very good activity for children, and this is so easy to explain neural network by this method. Okay, so I think I'm done with the session. So thank you. Thank you so much, Vilash. And so next, we will take a break now. And from the 2 p.m. onwards, afternoon 2 onwards, we would like to understand quickly. I want to show slide what we would like to do next. So what we would like to sort of do in the next is कि हमें लगता है कि puzzles are such a natural way of having a very interesting engagement. तो हमारी स्कूल के अंदर हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस की इमारतों के अंदर बिल्डिंग के अंदर दीवालों के ऊपर we can have very interesting sort of things being installed and done. तो इसके लिए बहुत ज्यादा कुछ संसाधनों की जरूरत है. तो वहां पे हम पजल्स और कंप्यूटेशनल थिंकिंग की अलग अलग गतिविधियां और चीजें कर सकते हैं, और उसमें कंप्यूटेशनल थिंकिंग कहाँ पे छुपा हुआ है उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. सो नेक्स्ट माय कलीग Tirth and some of other colleagues would like you to showcase and demonstrate very interesting puzzles and how to have a mathematical and computational thinking explorations around that. उसके बारे में हम बात करेंगे. Thank you so much for joining, and we would connect once again with you at 2 p.m. Of course, we are here for few more minutes, but officially we are over. अगर किसी को कुछ अपनी चीजें पूछनी है, बात करनी है, चर्चा करनी है, this is the time the forum will be open. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. We can change the settings to anybody can speak. And invite our silence. Settings.